What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. Now, when people see me, they see, man, Carcino, man, you seem like you got everything together and all this stuff, man. It's an everyday struggle. An everyday struggle in this game just to stay level headed because just like everybody else out there in this free world, everybody's family situation, everybody has their own lives and we all might be related, but everybody problems ain't your problems, and sometimes people dump their problems or their burdens on your back and then saying, okay, you got to deal with that for me. So, say that to say this. We are in a situation where you've seen with the Drake and his father and how that played out when Dennis was in an interview and he was basically stating that Drake, well, he didn't say that. They kind of took it out of context a little bit what he was saying, but he was like he approached Drake about the comment that was made. That Drake kept talking about, like, why are you saying this? Sorry about that. But I'm like, he's like, what are you saying this for? And he was like, why you keep talking this absentee father thing? And he was like, man, I'll just be saying that, it sells records. And, that's what it's about. Now, Dennis came out and said that. Now, over the years, his father's been very, you know, like present in his life since Drake got on and started really showing his family. Him and his dad kind of linked back up, and his dad was around more. And they got really close, like after the back to back during those days. Like once that happened and dropped, his dad was like right by his side through that whole ride, and you didn't see like for a while Drake and Dennis was like inseparable, but his parents divorced when he was 5. That's a hard thing for anybody to deal with, you know, because you're young, you don't understand anything as to why your father isn't there. And you look at other people's parents and they mother and father, they come through the door, they leave together, they live in the same house together. It's a certain type of security blanket. You feel safe when you have your mother and father there. See, I know from experience, you know, I couldn't understand like why my dad lived in one house and my mom lived in another house when I was younger. And I'm like, man, I see my cousins and they mom and dad, they lived in the same house. I'm like, wow, they got it. They got the best life. I'm thinking they lucky. They got their mom and dad in the same house. And then you watch television shows, you see the mother and father, they're all in the same house. And it's like, man, so you go to your dad's house on the weekends, spend time with dad, then, you got to go back home to mom so you can go back to school. Then you wondering why you ain't staying over there with dad. It's a bunch of party going on over there. We go roller coasters and ice cream, and because you ain't going to school with that. That's a whole different experience. It's a different world, So you're not going over there. So now when you're back at your house and you're back in your life, now you're blaming mom. Why is dad ain't here? So you go through these things because you're young. You don't understand bills, how bills are paid, and nothing. You just know, well, I can't get this. Dad would have bought it for me. You don't love me, Mom. So you push blame here and there on one or the other. Why you didn't get that, Dad? And Dad always want to get the cool points in over on Mom. So he'll go and buy something that I really wanted, not something I needed. Just so he could be the hero of the day. Like, yes. Then you're in the middle of a war that you know nothing about. So it's crazy, right? It's completely crazy because when you get older and you look back, you laugh almost like, oh my gosh, all this is going on because you understand it now. You're grown, so you're able to understand the problems and the situations that was going on. Because I'm like, man, I'm the age now that my parents was then when this was going on, and my goodness, I wouldn't have done any of this. None of it. So, things always change for the better or for worse. But for Drake's situation with his father, it's very similar. His father probably was present in his life. And for his father to say, I was around, is different than what Drake was meaning in the songs. He felt absent in situations in which he needed his father there. And his father was probably off doing some shows or doing whatever he was doing. He wasn't there. So when he said, I have an absentee father, doesn't mean my father didn't come around and say, hey, what's going on, or talk to my mom every now and then. Meaning that I was abandoned basically. When I was growing up, when I go to bed at night, you're not there. When I wake up, I have some problems or issues, you're not there. I gotta find you if I need them, but you're not there. You weren't really there for these incidents that I had. I had to go search and seek you. That's a difference. So neither side is really wrong in this situation. I get what Dennis was saying. I know what he's probably saying is I was there for you. I was there. I was sticking around and doing all these different things. I was there. I wasn't absent. So when they bring up the fact that he wasn't always present in Drake's life, it's kind of insulting to a father to hear that. It's like an insult almost. Like, hey, don't talk about me being like I'm a bad dad. It makes him look bad. So once that was stated, well, it was on Nick Cannon's show on Power 105. What is it, 106 or whatever? When he talked about his son using a relationship to basically sell records. So Drake, gets wind of it, and he wasn't happy, of course. He like woke up today so hurt, man. My father will say anything to anyone that's willing to listen to him. It's sad when family gets like this, but what can we really do? That's the people we are stuck with. Every boss ever spit was the truth, and the truth is hard for some people to accept. So people are like, man, what's really going on? All I can say is before this interview happened with Nick Cannon, sorry, I gotta take that back later. Before this interview happened with Nick Cannon, Drake and his father hadn't really been close. Drake and his father been kind of estranged. Drake and his father were on different levels of communication. When the Pusha T situation came out, they were cool and all this, but then things happened within the two, that started to put a strain on their bond and the closeness that they had back in like 2017 when you start seeing him and Dennis everywhere. They was in commercials. That the distance has been noticed between the two. Normally that's family business. You don't really get into it. But Dennis, he loved the rollout and the support system that he was getting for his album when he did Kind of Crazy. They had a big party. They had a rollout tour just for one song. Drake was very adamantly behind it. He put it in a commercial with Nicole Murphy and a Hennessy commercial. He got a deal for the song. He was doing well. And now he's come out with his other single, and he don't have Drake's support really on this single, on the that on that, and where Dennis is rapping. There's no rollout party. There's really nothing to it on the song, and it's under Dennis Graham Productions, his own production thing like that. So unlike Kind of Crazy, that on that just went numb. So everybody's hitting me up. Jesus Christ. Now, apologize for that. But you got to understand something. Because that song came out and Drake didn't support it and get behind it, there may be some other issues behind it monetarily or something that happened in private. I don't know that. Okay? I'm quite sure there was a conversation had which didn't go away. Somebody probably thought the conversation should have probably went, but I know some support was not given that should have went to his project that he probably felt. And there was probably a reason why this happened. Dennis has a very laid back but a grown man perspective on life. He's the father. No matter what your celebrity star status is, he's the father. And that's just how he is. And, sometimes ego could get in the way and he gonna be who he is. And that's just that. Now, him saying that, and I believe he did, Drake probably did say that to his father. I think he told him in somewhere in a sense, like, Dad, it's records. Like, it's just business. Like, don't read into the music. And Dennis just said it in a way that's like, oh, he's doing that just to sell some records, making him look like a better father, than what he probably really was at the time. So, like I said, both sides probably have a point, some lost in translation, and they probably have other issues. Like Dennis probably has another issue about the that on that rap song he got out. And I pray, I tell you guys right now, listen to that song. If you're not laughing within 2 minutes on the floor, I don't know what kind of human being you are because that on that is hilarious. He got about 5 views off me right now on YouTube, cracking up, laughing, rolling on the floor. So please, if you get a chance, listen to that on that. I know Drake probably listened to that and said, you're rapping now, Dad? There's this. It's kind of crazy, I know, but I'm a rap now, just like you. See, you're gonna be father like son, like what's his name, Birdman and Lil Wayne. We got probably have Birdman and Lil Wayne on one of the songs. Yeah, me and you, baby, we gonna both be rapping, baby. I'll be rapping and backing. um, Yeah, well, we're kind of moving in another direction right now, and that might be a harder thing to do, like a duet, me and you rapping. Um, I'll put some of the younger OVO artists probably over there with you to so that you could get like your timing down on rapping. Man, I've been rapping, man, since before you was in diapers, baby. I've been rapping and macking. It's kind of crazy, crazy. Look, man, I'm rapping it. That on that. And that's that on that. Hey, wait, hey, wait. That's a good name for the song. That's that on that. That's right, baby. I'm back. Pimpin' ain't dead. I'm still here, baby. Um, could you not say that in front of mom? Oh man, so yeah, this is probably the narrative of what's going on. See, our parents are never who we think they should be. You know, we want the Ozzie and Harriet type of parents. My mom is a successful doctor. My dad is a construction worker. He comes home every day and spends his time with his kids. You don't want to say, well, my dad got three families. He's on his third marriage. Hey, he did time for fighting with a cop, punched a guy in the bar, stabbed him with a fork, knocked up his secretary. You know, nobody wants to have this life. Mom was sleeping with her boss. Dad knew something was up. Came home one night. Shoes were out there. Wasn't his. He freaked out. So people don't never want these type of scenarios. And by the way, that's not my life. I'm just, paraphrasing all this stuff. People gonna be, no, I didn't know you had it so rough. Oh man. But anyway, man, don't forget, man, hit the Cash App up. The Cash App name is Carcinos. You can donate to the page. It does work. You can click the link in the description box and click our link. Appreciate your time, man. I'm out. It's kind of crazy.